Welcome, everybody. We're so excited to have you here for today's webinar, the top 10 prospecting scripts for 2022. To get the most from today's webinar, we want you to take really good notes, and we want you to use that Q&A panel there to ask any questions you might have. Don't get stressed if that question isn't asked right away. We are going to be taking all the questions at the end. If you want to reach us at any time after today's webinar, you can reach us on all social media channels at Darryl Speaks. Darryl's the author of 3 books, all published by McGraw-Hill Publishers. That first one you see there, How to Become a Power Agent in Real Estate, is actually one of the best-selling books to real estate agents on Amazon. Darryl was named one of the top real estate newsmakers in 2021 by Risk Media Magazine in the Big-Hearted and Brave category. He's also the recipient of the coveted CSP designation, which is only given to less than 2% of speakers worldwide. On that note, Darryl Davis, take it away.
Thank you, Jules. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this webinar on the 10 prospecting scripts for 2022. I have a couple more things to go over with you. Just a couple of things I want to cover before we get into the content. Number one is, some of you on this call, this might be your first time coming to our weekly sessions here. And you might have the question, is this webinar a sales pitch? So I just want to address that. It absolutely is not. We are going to cover the topic. I'm going to go through 10 dialogues and break them down so everybody's going to get value. But just for the sake of transparency, or for you to understand, these weekly training sessions are for our power agents. These are agents that are in our coaching program. And so some of the agents that are on this call are power agents, and some of you are guests. That's what we refer you to. We welcome the guests. We're so glad that you're here. If you want to know more about being a power agent, we'll cover that at the end. But just to get it out of the way, which, by the way, the reason why I'm sharing that is from time to time during the webinar, I may have a sidebar conversation with power agents to talk to them about where something is on the website for their portal. So I just want you to understand why that might happen. But if you're a guest, just real broad strokes, what the program is, we're holding it $47 a month because of the pandemic when that started. But as a guest, if you want to try it for $5 for 30 days, you have complete access to the entire website. You can cancel anytime. You're not locked in. It's month to month. But the really cool thing, which you all may want to consider if you are a guest, there's no strings attached. I'm serious about this. For $5, you get to keep all of these incredible bonuses. Something that's really relevant now, the bonuses, is the business plan that we have, which is a 3-part business plan. It's like 43 pages. It talks about how to get now business, how to get future business, and then financial freedom. Along with our very popular predictions. We did it a couple of years ago. We've been doing it every year, and people seem to really love it, and they're using it in their business, using it with buyers and sellers, and it gives you strategies for yourself as well. Now, as I said, I do want to talk to the power agents just for a second, so guests, just sit tight while I make 2 announcements to them. As I just pointed out, power agents, the predictions, you want to make sure you download that because you can use that with your buyers and sellers. If you go to the classroom of your portal, you will find the predictions in the buyer tab. And when you get into the buyer tab, this is what it looks like. And for the new power agents, I want to remind you that everything is alphabetical. So when you get down to the E's, you'll see E-Guide for 2022 real estate prediction. So make sure that you download that. That's the first thing. Second thing, I do want to make a loud announcement about our Power Agent Directory. I just want to show you, Power Agents, 3 comments that we got off of the Facebook group from Catherine. She said she just closed a property that was a referral from a fellow Power Agent. Woohoo, the directory works wonders. And she wrote, just to let everyone know that because I'm listed in the directory, I received the lead from an agent in Colorado trying to get help for a friend of hers who has a property to sell in my territory, yada, yada. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. The last sentence, this opportunity happened because the directory is such a great idea. I mean, there's another deal from a power agent to power agent. And this last one from Carol, I like to thank Power Agent Regina McCann for finding me in the directory and sending me a referral. I could not dream of a better scenario. This is cool. I do want to read this. Her buyer called. We emailed back and forth with homes she liked. She came to town to look, made an offer that day. We had to use the escalation clause and we won it. The seller's agent was easy to work with. It was just beautiful, smooth transaction. So power agents, especially the newer ones, make sure when you go into the directory, and you'll see it there, it's really obvious. That top button says update my directory profile. And when you click on that, you'll be able to put your photo. You can put the areas that you serve. The power agent directory is generating about 5 deals a month for power agents back and forth. No referral fees, and some might be. It depends, but we're not involved with that. Anyway, power agents, please use that. All right, let's get into this topic, everybody. Again, I welcome the guests to the call. Just so you're all clear, what we're going to be doing, some of these webinars every week, they kind of fall into one of two categories. They're either wide, where I'm covering a lot of things, but I'm not going deep on it. And then there's some where I go really deep. Like when we talked about the negotiating session, I went deep because we just talked about negotiating. The listing appointment, I just talked about the listing appointment. Today's topic, I'm going wide. And the reason why I say that is because I'm covering 10 dialogues. And so I'm going to go through them real quick, but you might have questions. So power agents, I want you to remember that every Monday, we have the live coaching call where I can talk to you. I can record the conversation. We can role play. Because Darryl, I called it FSBO. This is what they said. What should I have said? So power agents going into 2022, try and get on those Monday coaching calls as much as possible. It'll help you as you have questions about these dialogues, as you implement them, right? So here's the first dialogue we're going to talk about. So everybody take deep breaths, let it out. Yeah, I hope you did that, and let it out. Okay, good. And then make sure you start taking your notes. Here's 1 out of the 10, and that is your book of business update. Now, here's what I mean by book of business. Let's just look at this dialogue. Many agents have boxes of files or outdated records, and they find themselves now needing to update client records that include current email addresses. You know, what works is you can hire an admin or a temp to hit the phones. You can break the task down into daily number of calls until those files are updated. Or you can make the calls yourself. So you can adopt this dialogue, but let's go through this. Hi, I'm calling for Hana. That would be you if you hired a temp to do this. Or you could say, hi, this is Darryl. How are you doing? Great. But let's stick with the temp. Hi, I'm calling for Darryl Davis, your neighborhood real estate expert. We're updating our clients' records for Darryl, and I just wanted to see if it would be all right for me to confirm the information we have to update our files. Do you have a minute? Thank you very much. Here's what I have. If you can let me know if there's anything we should change, I'd appreciate it. And then you confirm their contact information. And the reason why you want to do that, I don't have to tell you, but you know, in this day and age of security and stuff, if somebody called you and said, listen, I just want to find out what your email address, mailing address, and social security number is, you probably would not do that over the phone. So this temp, this assistant, or you making the call should actually give the information. So that way they just have to say, yes, that's correct. Obviously you have it in a file, or no, it's not. And they might feel comfortable updating it. Thanks for your time. Now, here's the real reason for the update, gang. Because these 10 dialogues are designed for you to generate business, right? And generate appointments, specifically listing appointments, hopefully, mostly, right? So thanks for your time. By the way, is there anything that Darryl can do for you right now? No, we're good. Or how's Darryl, depending on how close you were with these people, they'll respond accordingly. But then what this temp could do is say, by the way, there's one thing that Darryl is offering his past clients, and that is an updated market report. That report does two things. It tells you what your neighbors have recently paid for their home, and more importantly, is it will tell the current value of your home. Given your house is one of your most important assets, you should probably have this done once a year. Like you might have a physical done once a year. It's good to do that with your house too, you know. It's also going to be very valuable for insurance purposes. Oh, a little typo there. Would you like me to have Darryl run that report for you? I'll get right out. Thanks again. So there's the first call or first dialogue that you can do. But along that lines, I want to give you a bonus dialogue. So this would be like 10B, 1B, I guess. And that is calling your past clients. One of our power agents, and that means is in the top 0.5% of all the agents in the United States, actually, mega producing agent, no assist, no team. It's just her, a single agent on Long Island here. Anyway, we were just talking, and her business is built on referrals. She's gotten to this point. She's been in the business for over 30 years. And so it's all about referral business. So along that lines of the book of business and you staying in touch with anybody you work with, let me show you what you can do to reach out to past clients if you're doing it yourself. Hey, Hannah, this is Darryl. How are you? Great. Recently, I was thinking about my past clients, and I just wanted to check in with you and John and see how you guys are doing. One of the things I'm going to tell you guys about the dialogue is a framework that I'm giving you. And you need to personalize it, though. Don't read a script, right? That's why we're calling dialogues. I think the webinar, we did call it scripts because it catches people's eyes. But we're not fans of memorized scripts because then you're inauthentic. You want to be able to talk from your heart, not your head. So you want to be able to know this dialogue really well, but then start to add your little nuances, your own personality to it, right? So, hey, I was recently thinking about one of my past clients. You actually came to mind. I just want to check in and see how you and John are doing. Okay, that's great. Now talk about them. So what's new with you guys? What's happening? How are the kids? Whatever. So talk about them, and talk about them. Let them talk, yeah? And because here's what'll happen. They'll naturally ask you how you're doing. They're going to ask you, how's your business? What's happening in real estate? Everybody's interested in real estate. As a side note, because somebody talked about my mentor, Mac Levitt, before the webinar started, I'll never forget this. Mac and I were in a dining, him and his wife and I were in a diner, and while we're eating, and this is when we first started working together, Mac said, shh. And I said, what? He said, shh, listen. I said, listen. He said, hear those people in the booth? I said, yeah. He said, they're talking about real estate. He said, every place I go, somebody's talking about real estate. Everybody is interested in real estate. Everybody is involved in real estate if they live in a home or they have a place that they go to at night. So they're going to be interested in how's real estate. They're going to be interested in how your business. They're going to ask you that question. When they do, you're going to say, you know what, because the rates are so low, I'm seeing one of two things are happening. People are either refinancing their properties and taking that money, making improvements on their house, or they're selling their home, looking to buy their dream home because property values for them have gone up so much. And they'll go, really? And so that might start a dialogue. Darryl, do you think we can refinance ours? How much equity do you think we have? What are the rates right now? And that will start that conversation, yeah? And then, of course, whatever happens with the call, if it doesn't go to the next level of the conversation about them having some interest about possibly getting more info about their house, then just close it out and say, hey, is there anything you need? I'm here. Make sure you say my phone number in your cell and consider me your hotline. Second dialogue. So that's the first dialogue. Second dialogue is rent by owners. So there's people that are looking to rent their house, and those are really good possible leads that you've got to look at. Hi, I'm calling about the rental. Is the house still available? Yes, it is. Well, hi, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. How are you? Fine. The reason why I was calling is I do see you're trying to rent your place, but I was wondering if I had someone who wanted to buy your house for a nice profit for you, would that be something you'd be interested in? Now, let me tell you something, gang. Houses for rent are a great source for you because most agents don't think about houses for rent if they don't do rentals. Agents that do residential, buying and listing and selling real estate, rentals is like it's like there's commercial, there's rentals. I don't do rentals. So there's a lot of agents not calling rentals. So you don't have a lot of competition there is my point. But you can call that homeowner and maybe flip them into a possible listing. So if they say that they might be interested in selling for a nice profit, which any investors say, yeah, if you get me a good number, maybe. Well, here, let me ask you some questions about your. I see that you've in the ad it says it's 3-bedroom. Are those all upstairs? Is it one down? Tell me, how does it look? And so you start the dialogue, right? And then the last thing is, what time and date would look good for you this week. I will be available Tuesday at 6 or Wednesday at 3, whichever is better for you. And then you just schedule the appointment. Very simple. House for rent dialogue. Power agents, by the way, I just want to remind you something. Power agents, so let me talk to the power agents for a second, guys. Power agents, when you go to the power agent portal and you go into farming, after you go into classroom, you go to farming, you're going to see hundreds of flyers, checklists, e-guides, just credible stuff. And you can customize them all. There's a couple I just want to point out. One is this: prices are up, now's the time to sell. This is a great flyer that you can use to send to an investor, to a house rental, as a follow-up to that conversation. You'll see at the bottom there, you can drop your photo in, drop your contact information there. It's a really good piece. I just want to remind power agents that you have that. There's others, but I only have an hour, and I have 8 more dialogues to do with you. So third one is Orphan Dialogue. Now, when I mean about orphans, I want to explain orphans, okay? Orphans are homeowners that bought or sold a house through your company. The agent who did that deal is no longer working in the company. And so therefore, that client is not being serviced by your company. They're an orphan. So what you would do is you would ask your broker. Don't ask your broker for orphans because they don't know what that term is. It's just a term that we made up here. So ask your broker, hey, listen, I want to do some customer service, shake the trees going into 2022. I know that we have like these deals where the agent is no longer working for us. Can I reach out to those people, check in on them, see how they're doing, maybe offer them an updated market analysis, CMA, So do it very casual with your broker. They may be a little protective of giving you those leads. So make sure you make it really nonchalant, no big deal. Don't tell them, listen, give me all of those files. I want to adopt those people, make them my clients. Like, don't go like that because they may get weird. So just very nonchalant. Now, here's the dialogue. Hi, I'm looking for, Mary Jo. Yes, this is her. Hi, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. How are you? Fine. So the reason why I was calling is to apologize. Oh, for what? Well, it seems as though you bought a home or sold through our company years ago. And the agent who was involved in that transaction is no longer working for our company. So the reason for the apology is it seems like we lost touch with you. And I've been appointed from our company to be your new rep. That if you should have any real estate questions, you can always feel free to call me personally. Oh, isn't that nice? Thank you so much. Okay, good. By the way, I love that. By the way, the by the way is a great segue, 3 words to segue into the next part of the conversation. By the way, how are you enjoying the house? Have you made any major improvements? What do you like best about the neighborhood? Have you ever thought about moving? If you were moving, where would you move to? If you could get a larger home in a different neighborhood for the same monthly payment, would that be of interest to you? Now, I want to keep something in mind. Do not ask the questions that way because you will sound like a cop or something, and it will be really too intrusive. So those are just sample questions to start. So I want you to just let the conversation, it's called conversation, right? So how's the conversation? You have a general idea. Right here, the general idea is you want to find out what their commitment level is. Is there any interested about real estate, moving to the next level, maybe finding out what their house is worth? So tread softly here because they don't know you. You just called them out of the blue. So work your way up into those questions, right? And then, of course, invite action. You choose one. Like, here's a couple of options. Say, one of this, if they don't want to set an appointment, if that conversation doesn't go that way with the orphan, you can do a couple of things. You go, one of the services we're now offering is an updated market analysis of a client's home. You never know. You could be amazed at how much your house is worth. You literally could be able to move to another home and not have your payments go up. I mean, it's just the market's crazy. Is that something you'd be interested in? So that's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is one of the services we offer our past clients is the neighborhood market report. This report not only tells you how much your house is worth in today's market, but it also shows you what your neighbors' houses are worth as well. Listen, the neighborhood market report, you'll see me talk about that a few times. Neighborhood market report is a CMA, but we like to call it neighborhood market report, because most homeowners don't know what CMA stands for, competitive market analysis. They still don't understand what that means. But a neighborhood market report says exactly what it is. It's very clear. And so I tell our power agents that I think that's a better term to use than a CMA. Now, here's something else I'm going to share with you is because we're talking about adopting past clients into your the database, which essentially is making them your clients. This is something that we tell power agents to do with past clients. We call them smile stops. Now, I just want to explain what a smile stop is. We use them. We use the acronym SMILE. The S stands for service, that it's about, providing service to people. It's meeting them face to face is the M. So we're door knocking, we're going over there, we're going to invite them to share, to talk. By the way, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should communicate in that proportion in all prospecting, whether it's on the telephone, whether it's face to face. You want to leave behind some kind of gift, some kind of token, some kind of fun thing. And then E is elevate the relationship, meaning that you're going to continue. You don't just drop something off. You want to make sure that you follow up either in phone calls or mailings. So I'll give you some examples. So an ice, number 7 there, you'll see it says an ice cream scoop with a note attached. Want the scoop of what's happening right here in our local real estate market? Give me a call. Simple lemonade, you're simply the best. Thanks for being a great client. Now you see, I wouldn't give that to an orphan that you just adopted because they're not a client yet, unless you want to say a client of our company. A jar of jam with a note. Hope your summer is jam-packed with fun. And premium nuts with a note saying, I'm just nuts about my clients. Thanks for being so awesome. Now, I want to tell you, there's a whole bunch of others ideas. And I want power agents, I want you to know, I want to show you some power agents. When you go into the portal, and you just type a word like smile stops, like I did, like that expression, all of the smile stops pop up. I don't know if you can see it too well on the screen, but I was just showing, let me go back. I was just showing, here's like 10 ideas, like for any time of year. But what our team has done, Julie is the one who spearheads this, is she actually comes up with smile stops for all different times of year, actually every month, because there's different holidays that I didn't know there were so many holidays every month until Julie started doing these smile stops. Like it's like, where's March? Like March, there's like 4 holidays or a thing. Not federal, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so search smile stops power agents. Number 4 is new listings in an area. Now, let me tell you something. One of our power agents from this company called Huff and Cadiz on Long Island, he taught me this. And he said, Darryl, now check this out, gang. This is really powerful. He said, Darryl, have you ever noticed that when a new listing comes on the market, that the next listing on that block or right immediately around that house almost always is with another real estate company? And I said, yeah, you're right. And I started thinking, I think why that is because the neighbor, when the second one, when they're going to list, if they list with their neighbor's realtor, that somehow that neighbor will know their business through the realtor. So they go out of their way to not hire that company. So what this power agent is that anytime a new listing comes on the market, he calls all the neighbors around that new listing. And he tells me he gets about 10 listings a year with this strategy. So what we did is we upped on this and we created this dialogue on calling around a new listing. So let's go through that. So, hey, may I speak with Miss Jones? Yes, Mr. Jones. Well, hi, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. How are you? Fine. What can I do for you? Well, the reason why I was calling is a new house just came up for sale in the neighborhood. I don't know if you'd seen it. It's one of your neighbors. Yeah, and because of that, now we're not the listing office, but because of that, we're expecting a lot of buyers who are going to want to buy into the neighborhood, and there's maybe not enough listings to go around. So I was wondering, have you heard of any of your neighbors thinking about selling in the near future? Now, let me tell you why you want to ask it that way. You want to ask, are you thinking about selling? Have you heard of any neighbor? And the reason why is because if the first question out of your mouth is, have you ever thought about selling? It's a little bit too aggressive right out of the gate with the call. So it's a little bit more, it's easier for somebody to continue the dialogue when you're not getting in their face about their home. Okay, so have you ever heard of anybody thinking about selling? If they say yes, great. I'd love to help them out. Can I get that details? And then you have that conversation. And if they say no, all right, well, let me ask you, have you ever thought about selling? Now it's appropriate to ask that. If they say no, if they say yes, that's obvious. You'll start that dialogue about having an appointment with them. If they say no, do you mind me asking, what do you think is one of the nicest features about this area? How long have you lived in the neighborhood? If you were going to move, there was one place, where would you probably move to? So you do a little mini survey, because during that survey, what are we also doing is build a report. Do me a favor. I'm going to interrupt myself. I want you all to take a little note on the side here. I just had something flashing that I want to say, because I'm writing a book right now, or designing a training class, not a book. I'm not sure if it's going to be a book or a training class, but it's for experienced agents that are struggling, that need to restart their business. And I was working on this just yesterday, and I thought to myself, what is the number one thing, job description, that agents need to focus on? And here's what I believe. It's to build relationships with other human beings, period. Put a pin in it. If you build relationships, if you focus on that, whether it's on the telephone, whether it's face-to-face and listing appointments, whether it's door knocking, the best agents, the top agents, they're good at building relationships with other human beings. You don't sell people, you serve people. You don't close people, you don't coach people. That's the foundation of being a power agent, is we don't sell, we serve. We don't close, we coach. All right, going back to this, I hope this is helping you guys. If it is, shout out. Tell me anything that you love. I see a lot of questions coming in. This is good stuff. If you're getting any value, jot out what you like so far, anything that speaks to your heart. Okay. Step 5, invite action. By the way, one of the things we're offering neighbors is a free neighborhood market report. It tells them what neighbors are paying for the house, plus what your home is currently worth. The reason we're offering this is that your home is your most important asset. You should always go to have an annual checkup. Would you like me to prepare that for you? So one of the things, when you make these calls around this new listing and you're telling them, I'm looking for somebody who's thinking about selling because we're expecting a lot of buyers, you can still offer that person, even if you get no leads and they're not thinking about selling, offer them a free neighborhood market report. Every call, that should be your last thing before you hang up the call. Now, let's talk about FSBO dialogue. This is my specialty. And, one of our power agents from Howard Hanna Real Estate, huge company in the United States, Carmen Lacey, man, she took the dialogue and she banged out one weekend. She got 5 listings. They were all FSBOs, 5 FSBOs listed one weekend using the dialogue I'm going to show you. Now, I do want to address something, which is this question. Can you call FSBOs and expireds on the do not call list? So I do want to cover this real quick to help empower you. And as a matter of fact, I recorded, how long is that video, Julie? I think I recorded a video about 15 minutes, actually.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, so I recorded a video for power agents to show their brokers to help them. It's on the portal. But let me teach this right now real quick. First of all, I do want to tell you, this is a picture of me in the last live class that we did, the inventory intensive, me calling FSBOs live from the stage. If I speak to 4 FSBOs, I'll schedule 3 appointments. I'm telling you this not to brag. I'm telling you this because this is my specialty. I am really good. So when I give you my opinion about the do not call list, I'm not making it up. This is my arena of expertise. But I do want to do a disclaimer. I'm not an attorney. That's number 1. Number 2 is you must do whatever your broker says. So if I say something and it's opposite to what your broker said, you got to listen to your broker. It goes from God, your broker, then to you. That's how it goes. And then me. But I'm after the broker. All right, so if you go to the Federal Trade Commission, you actually read it, because a lot of people are opinion about it. They don't read it. They don't see what it says. So let me tell you, I've read it. My attorneys looked at it. Let me tell you why you can call FSBOs. Number 1 is they're the opposite of solicited calls, because the owner published a number asking for calls. You see, the do not call list is very clear. You are not to make unsolicited telephone calls. That's it. Put a pin in it. Unsolicited. These are solicited. The FSBO is the opposite of what it says in the do not call. Number 2, you may be representing a buyer. A buyer agency is like a power of attorney. So in a sense, you are calling on behalf of a buyer in a lot of cases. That's the second reason why. Any one of these stands on their own. So these give you 3 solid reasons why it's absolutely 100% okay. Number 3 is you are not soliciting money over the phone, like selling stocks or magazines, because the do not call list is about solicitation and selling on the telephone, where there's no selling, there's no transaction, there's no money happening. These are the 3 reasons why you can absolutely call. And this is even true in a state of emergency. That's for my New Yorkers on the call that I always bring that up as well. Now, let's talk about expireds real quick. 2 major reasons. Number 1 is the do not call list is clear. It says you can call if you had a prior business relationship with them. Through the MLS system, when they hired the listing agent, we are sub-agents through the MLS. We had a prior business relationship, put a pin in it. And also the second one as well, about we're not selling anything over the phone. We're not asking for their credit card. There's no sale happening. So with that said, you must do whatever your broker says to do. And when you hear something different from associations, they're a political group. They're not a legal group. So you just keep that in mind as well. All right. Here's the FSBO dialogue, gang. So step 1 is identify that you're talking to the homeowner. Hi, I'm calling about the house for sale. Yes. Is the house still available? Yes, it is. Well, hi, this is Darryl Davis, Power Realty. How are you? The reason why you want to do this, gang, is because if you do it some other way, like let's say you call FSBO and they go ring, ring, you say, hi, this is Darryl. This is Darryl from Power Realty. Oh, hang on a second. My dad, there's a realtor on the phone. So now you're not talking to the owner. The owner's already now gotten a heads up, and they say, tell him we're not home. Tell him the house is sold, right? So you want to make sure, hi, I'm calling about the house for sale. They say, yes. And then the second question, now I know I'm talking to the owner. The second question is the house still available? Well, yes, it is. Now, the reason why you do that is because FSBOs also learned in their training program, and a lot of people don't know this, that yes, FSBOs have their own training program. It was created in the 19th century by a Frenchman. His name was Jacques FSBO, and Jacques teaches FSBOs, if you want to get rid of an agent, what they call you, tell them what? The house is already sold. So let's take it from the top. Hi, I'm calling about the house for sale. Yes. Is the house still available? Yes, it is. Well, hi, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. How are you? What do you want? You'll hear them change, which is kind of funny because now they got into the role of being a jerk. And not all of them, but some of them, they'll be a little tough. And you just hang on there because they're going to change. It's going to change. There's a 60-second window here. You get past the 60 seconds, that hump, get past the 60-second hump, they become nicer. Well, the reason why I was, hi, this is Darryl Davis, Power Realty. How are you? Fine. What do you want? Well, the reason why I was calling is I noticed your ad, and I was wondering, are you working brokers to sell your property? Now, if they say, yes, we are, okay, great. Is it currently listed? Because you want to verify that. No, we're not working with agents. So you are trying to sell it on your own? Yes, we are. Okay, good. And then you just continue. Now, if they're really nasty, are you working brokers to sell your property? No, we're not. Didn't you see my ad said no agent? Okay, I get it. I'm just curious. Because you want to save the brokerage fee? Yes. You guys cost too much. And this market is so hot, I don't need an agent. I can have my son walk in front of the house with a for sale sign around his neck, and I'll sell it before dinner time. So, okay, good. And then you just continue now. You do not answer anything and clarify. You don't address objections. You're just clarifying the how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how tough is this call going to be? But it'll get nicer. I trust me on this. Step 4 is, well, I'm looking at a copy of the ad, and the house sounds lovely. Did you write this yourself? Yes, I did. I know how to write things. Oh, well, it's 4 bedrooms, 2 bed. Let me ask you, those bedrooms, are they all upstairs, downstairs? And then you just start asking questions about the house. Now, there's 2 sets of questions. The first set of questions are questions that like a buyer would ask. Bedrooms, baths, any improvements, property side, anything. You look at the ad and you try and glean your questions from the ad. Now, here's what's going to happen. They may be tough, but for some reason, most of the time, they start answering those questions like you're a buyer. If you start to break down that barrier with them, Then you'll go to the second group of questions, which, well, let me ask you, where are you folks moving to? Why they're wanting to get their buy? Those are their commitment questions, okay? So watch this. I want you to get this. The first set of questions are about the house. And while you're asking the questions, you're really building some rapport. You're letting them, get a little less aggravated, and they're getting calmer, and they're talking to a real human being. And so now they've settled in. And now if you can start to ask those questions about their moving, where they're moving to, why they're winning, that's the commitment. You're going to have a really good appointment. And as a matter of fact, the better you get at this, what'll start to happen, which happens to me and our power agents, is the homeowner starts asking, when can you come over? That's when you've really mastered this. But it takes time, so you have to be patient. I'm going to tell you, and the last thing is, would you be offended if I just stopped by to take a look at your house? Do you see that question right there? Would you be offended if I just stopped by to see your house? Ming, that's a beautiful question. Would you be offended if I just stopped by to see your house? I'm going to tell you that is a magical question. I wouldn't be offended. No, I guess you can come. Now, if they're really nasty, you can do that. Well, if a buyer was willing to, if I had a buyer who's willing to pay your price and pay my commission, could we work together? It is possible in case to do that, but first I need to see the house. So anyway, there's the overview. Now, let me just say something to everybody about calling for sale by owners. They are the hardest in our industry. And if you can have a breakthrough and do that, you're going to have a breakthrough in your finances. I'm telling you, you're going to feel better about yourself. You'll feel stronger about yourself. And here's what I need to say right now. And power agents, you start doing this. We'll talk more about this on the Monday coaching call, is you've got to give yourself permission to make mistakes and fail. Don't get so twisted about doing it the right way. All right, you got to be kind to yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to make the calls. You'll learn from your mistakes. Mistakes are good, so be okay with that. Voicemail dialogue. Hi, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. The reason why I was calling is I noticed you're selling your house, and I have some important information about that. I might even could have somebody be interested. I'm not sure because I need to get some information from you first. Could you please call me back as soon as possible? I'm going to tell you something. That dialogue, our power agents tell us they get 50% of the calls returned. What's the important information? Well, it's about how you market properties, although you're not going to say that on the phone. You're going to continue the dialogue. They're going to say, you call me about my house, and you'll say, yeah, I'm looking at a copy of the other. You guys work with agents. And then you just use the dialogue that I just showed you, okay? They'll call you back. They're not going to ask you what's that important information. The next thing I want to talk about is RedX. RedX is the company that we push with our power agents, and the reason why is because what they do, they don't generate leads. What they do is they take the existing leads that are out in the world, like FSBOs, expireds, and they put it into this format where it makes dialing for dollars easier for you. So this is a screenshot, like when you log into your account, it already has all the FSBOs in your county, in your area that you work, all the expireds, all the houses for rent. You click on it, then there's more detailed information about that listing, a copy of the ad, sample dialogue at the top. You can automate the calls. It's incredible. Now, I have a gift for everybody. Is if what we've negotiated with RedX is that power agents, they can go to this darrylspecial.com. They don't have to use the promo code SMILE anymore. We've taken that down. You just go to that site, and they give you the first 30 days for free, and you don't pay anything. And then after the 30 days, you can if you want to. All right, let's talk about the old FSBO dialogue, number 6. I still have so much to give. How are we doing, Julie? How's the group doing?
It's good. It's good. Everybody's very engaged.
All right, good. And do me a favor, tell us how it's going for you guys. If you're learning anything, you're enjoying, let us know. Also, you can write your questions. We're halfway through, and we're going to open up the questions soon. Old FSBO dialogue, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because this is very similar to the FSBO dialogue, just with a little tweak. Hi, may I speak with Hannah? Hi, this is Darryl Davis, Power Realty. How are you? The reason why I was calling our record show, you tried selling your house a few months ago. Is that correct? Yeah. Well, the reason I asked is because my company listed a lot of homes in the area around that same time when you were selling, and those homes did sell. Can I ask you, where were you folks thinking? Are you thinking of selling again? Where were you thinking of moving to? Now, I'm going to tell you, old FSBO is easier than fresh FSBOs. And RedX has access to this, by the way. RedX has FSBOs that go back months. And the reason why this is important, and I know some of you are like, yeah, Darryl, there's not a lot of FSBOs in my area. Yes, there are. You're just not looking. I'm going to say that again. There are FSBOs. you're not looking. Every day there's listings coming out. You look at your MLS, there's listings that are coming out. There's a good chance some of those are FSBOs, but that other agent got it because they called, you didn't. The second thing is there are some FSBOs that didn't sell because they got way greedy because they heard in the news how great real estate is and yada, yada, yada. So they asked this ridiculous number and they sat there and didn't sell. But now the market has caught up to that price. They haven't been thinking about it, or maybe they have, and you're calling them at the right time. And so then you just mix and match. There's different ways to get in the door with them. The reason why you're trying to sell on your own, was that because you wanted to save the commission? If I can help you get to Florida with the monies you need to move to, and you wouldn't have to pay a fee out of that monies, is that something that'd be interested in? It is possible to do so, but first I need to see your home. If it made financial sense, would you reconsider moving to wherever they said they were going to move to? Why don't we do this? I don't mind. Why don't we find the time where we can come together? You can show me your house. I can tell you how much house is worth in today's market and see if I can help you somehow. So there's a lot of different ways that you can schedule that appointment depending on how that dialogue went prior to that. Number 7, with expired dialogue, here's how that works. This is also easier, I will admit, than the first outbound. Hi, may I speak with Mr. Jones? Yes. Well, hi, this is Darryl, Private Realty. How are you? Great. The reason why I was calling is I noticed your house expired off the MLS. I was wondering, is the house still for sale? If they say yes, you want to clarify it. Have they put it back on MLS and you missed it, right? You could have missed that. If they say no, it's not for sale, did you guys sell it? No, we didn't. Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking at a copy of the listing, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little surprised the house didn't sell. Why do you think that is? And then at that point, you're going to let them just share what they share, because it's in the sharing that you're going to build relationships. Remember what I said before, gang? The secret to real estate success is building relationships with other human beings. Don't worry about the appointments. Don't worry about closing. Don't worry about listings. Build relationships. The listings will come. Build relationships. And how do you build relationships? Come on now. You have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Ask questions. Listen. The listing happens in the listening. Let's continue on with this. Invite action, Ms. Jones. I understand it's probably frustrating for you, but let me ask you this. If I had a buyer who's willing to pay you the price you need to make the move a success, and we can still get you to Florida in the time frame you wanted with the monies you need, is that something you'd consider? Now, the reason why I had Florida there was just a habit, something I said, somebody dictated, because I'm from New York, and everybody in New York moves to Florida. If it wasn't for New Yorkers, Florida would not exist. Or the Carolinas. Yeah. So anyway, you put a blank there, whatever they said they were moving to. All right, let's go on to the next thing. Expired dialogue for the voicemail. Hi, this is Darryl. This is Private Realty. The reason why I was calling is I know your house expired off the MLS, and I have some important information about that. I might even have somebody who could be interested. I'm not sure, because I need to get the information first. Can you call me back? Let me just highlight something about this dialogue. This is a tease dialogue. Did you notice that? You know, I have some important information. It gets people interested to call you. You know, I could even have somebody. Now, don't lie, but it's possible, right? Because you've got your whole office has all the agents. They have buyers. There's a very good chance for any of these expireds or FSBOs, you might have somebody that could be interested, but you need to talk to the homeowner first. Okay, power agents, let me talk to you for a second. When you go to the prospecting tab of the Power Agent portal, Power Agents, there are a ton of letters in there. There's FSBO letters, expired letters. There's a whole series of letters we have for you. So these are good letters to also do for follow-up with the for sale owner with the expired, if you get the appointment or don't get the appointment. You know, one of my favorite one is this expired one, let me help. Homeowners looking to save money. Anyway, it goes through. You can customize the bottom. I'm not going to go through the whole flyer, but this is just an example of what it looks like, and you send it out in a regular number 10 envelope. Here's another one. I love this one for FSBOs, that according to the National Association of Realtors, 91% of all home sellers work with a real estate agent to sell their home. 91%. 99% for recently sold homes. The final sales price was actually 99% of the final list price. Anyway, it goes through some great stats. You'll see 26% FSBOs usually sell for 26% less than what a realtor could have sold for. This is all NAR stats, profile of a home seller. Here's one other one, and then I'll go back to the dialogue. I love this sellopoly. This is just a good mailing piece to show a homeowner there's so much involved from start to finish to selling your house. And here at Power Realty, we help you get through the whole process of getting around the board of real estate so that way you can get moved with the monies you need to make the move a success. Let's talk about cold calling your farm area, because I want to leave time for questions as well. Calling your farm area dialogue, you all should start be working it. We're going into 2022 January. You want to start working your farm systematically. So let me show you how you can call, just cold call. Now listen, in this case with the do not call list, you got to be careful. You can, by the way, I didn't even get into this, but you can call somebody on the do not call list. You can. That's not a physical, not expired, just a homeowner. If it's a survey, if you're doing a survey, now I'm not going to get into that too much, but that is one of the exceptions. Okay. All right, but let's look at this dialogue here. Hi, this is Darryl, this is Power Realty. How are you? Fine. I hope I have an opportunity. The reason why I'm calling is to let you know that I've been sending you some information about the market and keep you informed about what's going on in the neighborhood. Have you been getting that information? So as you can probably tell, what I'm suggesting that you do is before you call a farm is you send out some mailings. Now, Power Agents, I did a webinar for you guys on farming. If you go into the classroom, webinars on demand, just look for farming. And one of the things I talked about is supercharged mailings. You know, the thinking is you mail out something once a month, right? And the Direct Mail Marketing Association said that a lead has to see your name, face, and what you do for a living 6 to 8 times before they'll take action. 6 to 8 times. So if you think about it, that means if you do monthly mailings, you got to wait for 6 to 8 months until anything really starts to bear fruit. The supercharged mailing concept doesn't mean it has to be monthly. What you can do is mail to a farm area when you first start every other week. So now you're doubling up. So now in the first 60 days, they've gotten 4 contacts from you. Then if you add a phone call to it, you'll start seeing some results very, very quickly before the summer. So going back to the dialogue here. So have you been getting that information? They say yes. Hang on a second. What just happened to my thing? Just froze up. Here we go. Is couple of things you can offer. You can say, well, I wanted to let you know that one of the things that I'm doing for the neighbors is offering a free report on blank. I understand you folks, it may not be selling right now, but if you do, this is really good information to have. So you can offer some kind of report, something of value. Guests on the call, I'm sure you have something, maybe your company has. Power Agents, I want to talk to you and tell you where we have stuff for you that you can use. If you go into the classroom and then you go to that farming tab, which is my favorite tab, or prospecting, you will see all of the stuff that you can offer a seller and farming flyers. But one of them is the seller's guide to real estate. I'm going to tell you, this guide you can use for so many different things. It's 43 pages. Now, I know some of my colleagues, they have guides, but let me tell you something. Our Power Agents say that this guide is the best that they've ever seen because of the content that's in there. It's educational, but it's also, and it has a shelf life. It doesn't get old, this thing. It's not talking about here's what's happening in the next 30 days or 60 days. This is good content, valuable stuff for a homeowner anytime that they're thinking about selling. And Power Agents, you customize the whole thing, right? It's beautiful. So you can offer that to a homeowner. Say, I have a guide on a seller's guide of real estate. It's 43 pages. You make it look like you wrote it. You put your name all over the thing. I can send that over to you. You can email it, or you can do a smile stop with it, go to the house, drop it off. Another thing you can do is offer free over-the-phone market analysis. And how that works is that we believe your home is your most important asset, and you should have, just like on your stock market or something, you should update what the current value is. And I can do that over the phone with you. You just ask some questions over the phone, and then I give you a ballpark. Now, gang, the whole idea of the free over-the-phone market analysis is to generate interest. Like, say, yeah, like I do that over the phone. You don't have to come to my house. Okay, good. So, but when you give them the big range, they're like, well, is it the high end or the low end? You say, well, I need to see your house to give you a more accurate number. So it gradually, building relationships with people, it's like gardening, right? Like you plant the seeds, but now you got to work it, right? You got to nurture it. You got to water it. You got to fertilize. You got to let the sun do it. It takes time for it to grab root and then start to sprout. Dialogue, conversations, prospecting is the same thing. So like doing like over the phone, very non-intimidating for somebody to say yes to, and then you elevate that relationship to get face-to-face. But which, by the way, you can actually offer the free over-the-phone market analysis as a mailing. Power Agents, we created a flyer for you with a cover letter to mail out to your farm area saying, hey, listen, 2022, you want to know how much your house is worth by a licensed real estate professional? Give me a call. I can do it over the phone, and you have to see your house. Again, when you give them the big range, they'll say, well, it's at the high end or the low end. Say, yeah, for a more accurate, I need to come over and actually see you, but I'd be happy to do that, Mary. When's a good time for you? All right, let's talk about door knocking. Door knocking dialogue. Hi, this is Darryl Davis. How are you? Fine. I hope I haven't interrupted. The reason why I was stopping by is to let you know I've been sending you information about the market to keep you informed about what's going on in the neighborhood. Have you been getting that information? They say, yes, great. I also want to introduce myself and give you something and then give me a little something of value. A smile stop, all those little tchotchke fun things. If there's anything I can ever do for you and your family in regards to real estate, my number's at the bottom. Just give me a call. Oh, by the way, I've also been offering folks in the neighborhood, in the area, a neighborhood market report. It's a report that offers two things. First, it shows you how much your neighbors paid for their home. See, everybody wants to know what the neighbors paid for their home. And second, based on the information, I can give you some value range of what your house is worth. We believe this is really important. You should have this done just like your other assets in your family, your stock portfolio. You should have it done on a regular basis. Would you be interested? Yes, great. The first step is I need to take quick. Can I come back? Can I come into the house now? Take a quick look. Again, you work your way into asking those questions. Number 10 dialogue is vacant property. Now, how you can find vacant property, it depends on your local town, right? So some towns have the ability where you can find easily, and I think we have some softwares too that we recommend, where the mailing address for the tax records is different than the house address. So you know that that definitely is a person not living there. And it could be vacant as well, or it could be a rental. But let me show you the vacant dialogue. Hi, I'm calling about your property at so-and-so. Yes, well, this is Darryl Davis from Power Realty. How are you? The reason why I was calling is see your house has been sitting empty for a while. And I was wondering if I had someone who wanted to buy for a nice profit, would that be something of interest to you? Similar to the houses or rent dialogue. And then you start asking the report building questions about bedrooms, baths, et cetera, and of course, you want to try and get over there to see the house and get in the door. Now, also with these calls, some of the follow-up that you can do, listen, you can do one of two things. You can do the call and then do follow-up mailing, or do mailings first and then a call. Now, most agents would say, I'd rather do the mailing first so it's non-threatening, which is fine. But I will tell you, I am the fan of the telephone. It's quicker. It's now like if I can generate because you know what? Here's the possibility. The possibility is if you call first, you can get the appointment and not have to mail anything. It's quicker. So I would do call first, then do a mailing. So if I called a vacant owner and I didn't get an appointment, I may do a follow-up and say, listen, if you decide you're going to start doing some improvements on your property, at any point sell it, here's the top 10 projects that increase the return on investment. And I send that to them. Here's another one, repairs to consider before selling your house, another flyer that you can send. This is just great. It's a great value. It shows a homeowner that you are an expert, you know your stuff, you're building relationships. Building relationships is contacts. How many times you talk to them, mail them something. Now, Power Agents, by the way, what I just showed you, if you go into the prospecting, you will find those flyers, and all of the dialogue that we just did is all in that prospecting tab. Every single dialogue is from that tab in the program. And I just want to remind the Power Agents that on Monday, we have our coaching calls. When you start hitting the phones, that's when you and I can talk and role play. If you have a question, you have an objection, so you're not alone, Power Agents, okay? Every Monday, we do these calls. They're supposed to be an hour, but they're more like 2 hours. Okay, now with that said, I have some bonus material for everybody. And here's a couple of bonus materials. Now, Power Agents, we created this flyer for you, but I want to teach this to the non-Power Agents, the guests, about Zillow. Some people will say, you know what? I don't need over-the-phone market analysis, whatever, because Zillow, I can find out my price there. Let me show you something. This is an actual quote. Even the CEO of Zillow thinks you should ask a real estate agent what your house is worth. Don't make the mistake of using a Zestimate to determine your home's value. Now here, let me read the rest here. In a prominent Market Watch article, Spencer Rascoff, who is the former CEO of Zillow, when he said this, he said, we call it a Zestimate and not a Z appraisal and not a Z price. It's meant to be a starting point. To determine the more accurate opinion of a home's value, you should hire a real estate agent. So you have this former CEO of Zillow saying, listen, it's just a starting point. Let me tell you, between you and I, really what it is, it's a marketing tool. I think I have that there. Yeah, here it is. Zestimates is merely a successful marketing tool to catch people's attention, but you should not rely on it to determine the value of your home. Buyers, banks, title companies, etc., they don't use estimates. They don't even use estimates. They use specific data and a formal appraisal to determine your home's value. As a licensed real estate agent of the state, I have access to that data, and I'm happy to share it with you in my neighborhood market report. I mean, this is just the Power Agents. I'm going back. This is a great mailing piece that you should mail out to all your farmers. I'll tell you why. We should all mail this out just so we can help the consumer, help the homeowners to understand that the Zestimate is just a fancy catching people's attention. It really has no value whatsoever. Now, this also, for everybody, part of what you want to do going into 2022 is to commit maybe and challenge yourself going into January. What would happen in your business if every day you talk to one seller and to one buyer? Every day. If you did that every day in 30 days, that's 60 conversations. If you had 60 conversations in 30 days in January, do you think your business might look different? Come on now. Do you think you might have a breakthrough? Yes, you would. I mean, is that a great way to start the new year? Son of a gun. I hope you commit to yourself to do this. To do one conversation with a buyer, one conversation with a seller. Do that every day just as an experiment. Come on, do it as an experiment. Come on now. You can do it just for the hell of it. See what happens. And then talk to me at January 31st. Here's something else. Power Agents and everybody, the guests too. What I suggest you do to help you stay focused, because we get distracted. We have so much going on. We got a family. We got to pay bills. It's so easy to get distracted. The kids, make a chart like this and put down all of the different things you can do to generate business for yourself. They could be the dialogues. This is just an example. You can put whatever you want. But the idea is, and then at the top, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then you play a game with yourself. All right, I'm gonna try and get two of these items done today. So that's another way to help you stay focused. So here's what we went through really quick, gang. Is the top dialogues is your book of business, taking any friends and families and past clients, all those people, and call them to update, say hello, update the email, and all that good stuff. Number two is the rent by owner dialogue. We went over that. People are not working it. That's a good place for it. Orphan Dialogue, the people that you can adopt into your past client. Don't forget the smile stops, new listings in the area, FSBO dialogue, old FSBO dialogue, expired dialogue, farming dialogue, door knocking, and then last we did the vacant homes. Now, I got a special for the guest. Then I'm going to open up to questions. So guests, hang out here, and then we're going to do the coaching. If you are a guest, you're not a Power Agent, I'm going to invite you to try this for $5 because you're going to get complete access to everything. You'll get a copy of this video, this webinar. You'll get all this dialogue, plus so much more. You can be involved in the weekly coaching calls on Monday. This is where you can actually talk to me and ask questions. We call them power hours, but they're not. They're actually like 2 hours long. We stay on the call. Like today, I'm going to stay on as long as it takes till everybody gets their questions answered when I'm done with this little 2-minute part. The webinar is on demand. All of our training is recorded and made available to Power Agents, and they can download the slides. So it's like a workbook. There's a closed Facebook group that is incredible. It's awesome. The energy is off the hook. Power agents, if you're on the right now, if you want to shout out to the guests and tell them what you love about the program, that would be good. The Power Agent website, let me just show you a screenshot. When you are a power agent and you go to the site, and after you logged in, this is your dashboard, the magic is in the classroom. When you click on the classroom, we've organized real estate into categories, like there's working with buyers, there's prospecting, there's farming. So there's these categories of real estate. So let's say you needed help with farming stuff, and you go into the farming tab. There are a plethora. There's actually, we counted it, there's over 600 flyers, postcards, letters, checklists, promotional pieces, guides. I think we've got like e-guides. We've got over 7 or 8 that power agents can use. We added this favorite feature because we have so much content. If you tag something saying, you know what, I really love that, it goes into a favorite folder just for you in your account. There's also the search function feature is incredible, right? So it's similar to Google. If you type in the word FSBO, everything that's FSBO related, whether it's the dialogue or a training or a flyer or an infographic, whatever, it'll pop up. And here's the bonuses that you guys get to keep today. If you decide to become a power agent, even just for the 30 days, there is 103 PowerPoint slide deck that you get. It's going to get emailed to you, and you get to keep it. There's a video training on how to deliver that listing appointment, along with the 3-part business plan, which is really important. You need that for 2022 on what to do to generate now business, generate future business, and financial freedom. If you're a new agent or experienced agent that want to restart your business, this is good for you. We're actually creating another one for power agents, for experienced agents. This new agent one has such great content. So I know we have some bunch of new agents as well. By the way, you guys get to keep this for this $5. If you decide to cancel in the 30 days, everything on the screen you get to keep. The 12 best dialogues, so we got a couple more in there that I didn't cover today on this call. There's 184 things that you do to earn your commission. This is a great guide to give to a seller, but it's also great for you to read before you go into a listing appointment. How to deal with multiple offers. This is a guide you would give to a buyer or to a seller to prepare them for the craziness of multiple offers. And of course, our popular 2022 predictions and how to navigate next year, and how buyers and sellers as well. Plus, you get a copy of today's slides. You get the webinar, a copy of the webinar, 30 days of a CRM if you need one. Everything is on the site is actually almost $2,000. But you actually get it just for the $5. So all you have to do is click on that floating thing. We're going to open up to questions of power agents, any questions you guys have, but also your comments. As I said, let the guests know what you think about the program. So with that said, Julie, let's go to the questions. What do we got?
Cool, we got a lot. That was an awesome webinar. Thanks for sharing all that. Emmanuel's going to kick us off. He's in Florida. He loves to be part of this networking group. He has a question about no one is answering our emails or texts right now. We find ourselves stuck. What other suggestions do you have that can help us click with people?
Yeah, so I would say that just like the dialogue that I showed earlier about leaving a voice message, it's the same concept. There needs to be something enticing on the message that you would leave them for them to call you. Listen, I have something really important to discuss with you, or something just came across my desk or my attention that I wanted to discuss with you. You can give me a call. I could possibly have somebody, anything, depending on what that relationship was, is how you can do that. Also, I will tell you, we have, let me go to the website. We have texts that we also have written, prospecting texts. And I'm going to see, I forgot what the name of that file is. And now this always happens. It runs slow. Let me see if I type in the word text, if it'll pop up. And so give me a second. The site's running a little slow. It happens every webinar because we have, we had over 1,300 people reserved for today's webinar. And so whenever this happens, all right, so here's text messages for prospecting. And then we have another file called prospecting text. So these are texts that we have written for power agents that are very enticing to get people to respond to you. These are not just FSBOs and expireds, but after an open house, following up with somebody who you've shown homes to and they started ghosting you. So we have that as well. Next question, Julie.
I do want to remind you too that you get not only 30 days, but 32 days if you sign up this month.
I knew I was going to forget that. Thank you, Julie. So just to let everybody know, as Julie said, because this is the 29th and we've got a few days left in the year, we're just going to start the 30, like you can start today, but we're giving you more than 30 days. So that means their first bill date, Julie, would be February 1st. Is that right?
I believe so.
Or is it January 30th?
We never do that. We never give the extra days. So this is the month to sign up.
Yeah, this is the month to sign up. Sarah, if you can answer that for me, is the bill date January 31 or February 1st?
It is January, the last day in January. So I believe
January 31st.
30th?
Okay. 30th, January 30th will be, so you're getting the 30 days plus a few more this month. So, okay. Yay. Next question. Oh, somebody, go ahead, Julie. Next question. Sorry.
What? Bud said he has a buyer closing tomorrow. He gave notice to his landlord to end the month-to-month lease. What is the best way to approach this landlord?
I'm sorry. Give me that again.
He says he's got a buyer closing tomorrow. He gave notice to his landlord to end the month-to-month lease. What is the best way to approach the landlord?
I see it. Let me read it myself.
Okay.
My buyer is closing tomorrow. He gave notice to his landlord, got it, to end his month-to-month lease. What is the best way to approach this landlord? Well, I mean, if the buyer, Bud, gave the landlord notice that they're ending the lease and they're moving out, I'm not sure what the question is, Bud. The best, are you talking about the security and how to get it back? It sounds like the tenant, he gave notice to his landlord. It seems like he did the right thing. He told his landlord, I'm moving out.
Maybe he's talking about prospecting the landlord, but if you'll just clarify in the questions.
Clarify the question. I'm not sure what the question. What is the best way to approach this landlord about what? Oh, is it? Okay, I'm going to assume the question, but is now that it's vacant because the buyer moved out, how do you pursue that landlord? I would just tell him, listen, have you thought about? I know it's vacant. What's your plans now with the property? You're planning on renting it, or you're planning on selling it? I ask because a lot of investors like you are cashing out. They're turning their investment into cash because it's such a great market for sellers right now. This is a time for you to sell for top dollar. Is that something you've been thinking about? So just very simple, Bud. You got that. Next question.
Wonderful. Sorry. What if the vacant owner is on the do not call list?
Same thing. I told you if we're not soliciting, so we're not selling. You want to get some information. I think you're fine. I will tell you this as well too. Again, from our association standpoint, could be state or local. They have to be politically correct. So they're going to tell you, don't call, don't call, don't call. But their commitment is not to you making money. Their commitment is to staying out of trouble or right. Giving advice that could be perceived it's a political hand grenade. I will tell you, we did an experiment here where we filed, some people were on the do not call list, and we get these crazy calls. And so we filed a complaint. Guess what? We still get the calls. So here's what happened. Congress created the do not call list because Congress was upset that they were getting these calls and these faxes, the junk fax. That's when it started. But they didn't fund any way to really police it. So you can go to the site, people can file complaints, and nothing is done with it. There's nobody sitting in an office in Congress that's fielding these complaints and pursuing them. It's just not. It's an empty law, quite honestly. Next question.
Darryl, where can I find the Zillow mailing?
Yeah, I was just doing that. I saw that if you just type in Zillow, you will find more than just that mailing that I showed you. So because we have some social media ads, we have how to set up a landing page. So there's Zillow advertising dialogue, Zillow objection handling. There's a webinar I did about now that Zillow is a competing broker, but there is the flyer and the postcard. There's a postcard and a flyer that we designed for you and some training. So just type in Zillow. Next question, Julie.
Perfect. What is your best tip for obtaining buyers?
The best tip for buyers is doing open houses. And, if you don't have any listings, you can ask an agent in your office, can you do an open house so you can generate some buyers? There's a lot of resources that we have in the buyer tab of the Power Program. You can do also a webinar, for example, on a home buyer workshop, how to find your perfect home. Now, I do want to show you something here. So I'm going to open up that flyer just to show the guests and current Power agents as well, that when you open up we use PowerPoint and Microsoft Word. It makes it really easy for people to use it. And what happens is that you can then start to customize this entire piece, right? So if you wanted to change your phone number here, you wanted to put your photo in here. So these are really custom. Everything in the Power Program is customizable for you. So that's my suggestion there. Next question, Julie.
I love it. What is the top thing to talk about in this market when you're talking about your business to prospects?
What is the
top thing to talk about in this market
when talking about your business? I'm sorry, Lori, I'm not clear on that question. Like, who are you talking to?
I think that came in early on, and that's where you were talking about calling people that were in your sphere. And if you talk about their business, they'll ask you about your business. And I would say market change. But if you want to clarify that question, Lori, that would be awesome.
Because I gave the dialogue when if they ask you, how are you doing? What's going on in your business? You tell them there's two things that's happening that you're seeing. That because the market is so hot, people are in two categories. They're either refinancing their house still and improving their current home in case they ever have to shelter in again. They're creating their dream home, or they're selling their house to go buy their dream home, and their mortgage payment is not really changing because the interest rates are so low compared to what they have now. So that's what I would say. Next question.
Tony Robusto, Power Agent. One of the major reasons I signed up with Darryl is this library of professional documents and professional marketing pieces that are already done for you. It saves me so much time and all my marketing that I do know with confidence that the grammar's correct, the letters are great. Do yourself a favor and start the new year with a coach and a staff that's exceptional. We love you, Tony. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Thank you.
What about voicemail dialogue, Darryl? I know you did go through the FSBO voicemail, but we do have all those in the prospecting tab too, the voicemail dialogues.
Yeah. So if I go to the classroom, right, and I go to prospecting, and here we go. So when you go to prospecting, so I want to show everybody everything's alphabetical. Oh man, these are great articles, by the way, about CEOs for saleowner.com trying to sell it on his own and list them with an agent. Anyway, so chart, but then go to D for dialogue. I have a buyer dialogue, book of business update, business associate, call around. So there's also the voicemail. So let's see where the voicemail, FSBO voicemail, and then expired voicemail is going to be somewhere here. There it is. So that's where they are.
Wonderful. Emmanuel's from Pembroke Pines. My association does not allow us to door knock in our neighborhood, but I would like to meet my neighbors besides mailing them a note. Do you have any suggestions for knocking on their door in order for it not to be in violation of door knocking?
Yeah. So Emmanuel, here's the thing. If you should get a client in that subdivision and they're selling their house, I think that's an exception. That what they don't want is soliciting. But every homeowner in that community, if they decide to sell their home, they should have the right to tell their neighbors they're selling their home, put up a for sale sign and flyers. So if you have a listing in that community, I'm sure you would have no problem telling the neighbors about it. If you don't have a listing, what you can do is sponsor you can do it in mailings. You can create a newsletter and call it that community and mail, like create your own newsletter about information about property sales, values, things that you're doing. Also, Facebook, find the closed group of that community and get actively involved in there. That's digital farming. You can engage with people that way. It's one of my favorite things to do. The last thing is if you can hold an event If they have a clubhouse, you can have it there, pay for the clubhouse, promote that event just to build relationships with people. And that event could be either a seminar, it could be a carnival. I've seen that done. There's a lot of ideas. I will tell you on that note, I'm going to show you all something. Parking lot. We have this guide that's really awesome. And it's called the Parking Lot Party Planning Guide. And I'm going to download that and open it up. And it's going to take a while. So hang on. Let's go to the next question. And then I'll show you that this is, everybody's going to love what I'm about to show. Go ahead, Julie. Next question.
I was asking, is there a contract? Can I cancel anytime?
You can cancel anytime as a power agent. You don't have to. No, you're not locked in for a year or anything. It's month to month. So we don't prorate. So if you once you pay that month, you're good for that month. And if you want to cancel, you cancel before the next charge, and there's no problem with that.
Excellent. Are we allowed to door knock during the pandemic?
Sure, you can. You need to be sensitive, right? So you should have a mask on because some people are going to not believe in the pandemic, or they don't care about masks, and they got all this wacky, craziness that we have about masks and vaccines. So you should just assume that people are very sensitive to that. And so play it safe, have a mask, but you can door knock for sure. Next question.
What is the best way to find phone numbers for the various people we are prospecting?
Yeah, Eric, the best way to do that is the Red X. That's the company that we recommend. Now, power agents, you don't pay the first 30 days and you don't have to pay a setup fee. It saves you over $500. Let me just go to that classroom. Oh, no, it's we'll do classroom and then go to Red X. When you go to the Red X, so we're not part owners or anything like that. We are so there's two vendors that we are so supportive that we put it into our training. One is Red X. The other one is RPR. RPR is owned by NAR. It is by far the best CMA software out there. And it's more than just a CMA. I mean, if you want to do research about a neighborhood, about the turnover, the average sales price, all that stuff, RPR, baby, and it's free. It's free as a member of the National Association of Realtors, so every realtor should be using it. We actually have a training on this in our classroom, which, by the way, I'll go to the tech tools and training. Let me show you a couple other things, and we'll go back to these questions. So one of the things that we did is we're not a tech company, but we realized power agents needed help on the tech. So we brought in tech experts like somebody from Red X on how to use the Red X, how to use the CRM that we have for you guys as well. How to write, this is really good, how to write intriguing bios that get read. But let me go to, where was I, Julie? What was I answering? Oh.
You were using Red X. And then
how to use, there's the Red X, how to use Zoom. So there's that. Let me, but was there something else I was going to say about?
I don't know, but the Red X, just on that note, we just did have a professional from Red X. So in the webinars on demand, they came in and did a training for us, and also includes the information that you need to do role playing with them. They're actually offering role playing. So that was a super powerful webinar, broke down what top agents do in terms of prospecting. It was really powerful, and that was in webinars on demand. I don't know if that's where you were going with it, but
no, you know what? I was going for the training on how to use RPR. That's what it was.
Oh, gotcha.
So reaching your next level with Realtors Property Resource RPR. So what we did is we had the couple of folks over at RPR do a special training for our power agents, and so that's there, and it's free for you guys as realtors. What I wanted to show you about this parking lot party guide is what we did is we created this concept where you can actually hold events in a parking lot and how to promote it to a community. So because it's very COVID friendly, pandemic friendly, people are outside, it's safe, you bring them. So anyway, we have this whole plan along with how to promote it. There's sample flyers in it. There's dialogues. There's some checklists. It's really, so if you wanted to have an event for a gated community, we have all of that for you. It's a really impressive. By the way, this is just one piece I'm showing you here. we have over 600 pieces in this program, and all of this stuff can be customized. You see this? Look at how I'm editing this. You see that? So that's how we designed this for you. All right, now next question, Julie.
We did have a question. Can it be customized? So I think you just answered that. Can all the material be customized?
Everything can be customized. I'll show you something else about the farming, because that's even the farming has flyers, and here's the neighborhood market report. I'm going to open that. So you can do a mailing with the neighborhood market report, and if, let's say, this is where you can customize it. You put your photo in there. Oops, I'm getting a little bit too crazy. You put your contact information there, and let's say you don't like what we wrote. Okay, then you can change that to, watch this. Bing, like you can watch this. I'm editing it. So there, unlike some of these softwares online where you can only edit maybe one piece of it, you can take our stuff and you can tear it up. You can add your own words, add your own bullets. You can actually copy and paste it in let's say if I copy this and I want to post it on Facebook, watch this. Bada bing, there it is. I'm not in Facebook, but I'm showing you. You can. A lot of our stuff you can repurpose and have them make them a social media post.
Right. Or even a blog post on your blog. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you can repurpose the information.
These e-guides, I'm going to tell you something. You search the e-guides that we have for you, and I want to show you this. Our e-guides are the staff, the writing that we have is so incredible. Some of these guides are for you, right? So if you need help on how to set up a LinkedIn account and a page, or how to use Zoom, so we have that. But some of the guides you would actually give to consumers, like the 8 risk homeowner take when they choose to sell their own home. Let's go to the next one. There's 4 pages of guides. Again, some of them are for you, like the farming field guide, that's for you. The parking lot party, that's for you. The 184 things you do to earn your commission, that's for a seller. The easy move guide, that's for sellers and buyers. The buyer's guide, that's incredible. Oh, let me show you this buyer's guide. Oh, this is going to take a while. It's a huge file. And by the way, you'll also see something interesting where it has Espanol. Wherever there's pieces that you would give to a civilian, that's what I call buyers and sellers. We actually had it translated for Spanish for people that need that. So that's an added benefit for people that's a concern. Anyway, this is opening up this file, but this buyer's guide, I got to tell you something. It really shouldn't be called a guide. It's more like a little book, because the table of contents, I'm going to show it to you. It's just about ready to open. And here, there we go. So check this out. This is one of my favorite pieces that we designed, because I'm going to go to the table of contents, understanding the market, getting ready to purchase, looking at houses, house hunting, looking at the homes, things to think about, virtual home, the purchasing, closing the deal. So if you look at the table of contents, it's almost like that Monopoly thing. It's bringing them around the cycle of buying and selling or buying a house. And it goes through, I mean, this stuff, when you read this, gang, here's what you can do. You can take these, and this is what I wanted to show you. Who's involved in the purchase of your home. You can copy and make this a post on Facebook if you wanted. There's so much that you can do with just one piece in what we have for you. It'll blow your mind, the content that we have for you. I mean, this is going through how to get ready week by week. Here's your moving checklist. Come on now. This is just incredible. All right, Julie, next question.
What time and day are the coaching calls?
They're Monday, 11 o'clock Eastern time. And at 12 o'clock, we end the call with a motivational message, but then we stay on until the rest of the questions are answered, which will go another hour and a half. Power agents, tell me if you like those Monday calls, what you think. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. Next question, Julie.
Jeff has actually asked a couple of times, where do you get started? There's so much in here. I don't want to get overwhelmed. Where do we start when we become a power agent?
Yeah, great question. So there is, when you go to Classroom, everything you can find in Classroom. there's this tab called onboarding. And what onboarding means in membership is when a new member, how do you get them acclimated so they don't feel overwhelmed, like you just said. So what Sarah and Julie did is they took, Julie recorded a welcome video for new power agents, and then it brings you through these 8 modules. The foundation, making a plan, all about listings, lead gen, leveraging your sphere of influence, cultivating your farm, putting systems in place, and cultivating buyer loyalty. So if I go to the first module, it'll say, all right, look for your power agent access email and your credentials, download your calendar for the month from the time management tab. And what happens, head over to the power agent directory and fill in your profile. So if I click on that hyperlink, it'll actually bring me to the power agent directory. There's the click where I click on there and update my profile. So, and I can go, and I'm obviously not Sarah, I'm logged in as Sarah. And here, join the Facebook Power Agent group. So I click there, it'll bring me right to the Facebook closed group. So if you just follow the step-by-step in this onboarding, and you'll notice these are checked off, like I haven't done these 2 yet, I haven't done that. You do it at your own pace. And then when you're done with that module, click over to module number 2, and then there'll be another set of suggestions and lists of things to do. So that's the answer to that question.
Hector wants to know, is all of this really included with the $5 subscription?
Yeah. Now, it's $47 a month after that, but as you can tell, it's probably worth $400 a month. And that we just chose, we got this price at $47 because of the pandemic. We're staying at this price for now. And then at some point, we're going to raise it. We're going to be offering print on demand as well for our power agents. Whenever we add things, we don't charge power agents more. They get locked in. So when you lock in this price, when we do raise it, you will never be raised. We're not like Netflix. Like Netflix raised our member. Like, well, why would you do that? Like the people that got you to where you are, you charge new people the new price. But, anyway, so we have power agents that are paying even less than the $47 because they've been with us for years. So anyway,
Bud said one referral paid for my monthly tuition for more than 3 years.
That's great, Bud. Awesome. There you go.
I love it. What is the best way to find vacant properties? I'm familiar with Kent Clothier. Is there a list? I think you went through that. It's different per area, so that you county records probably.
Right. I think. First of all, there's RedX can help you with that. That's number one. Number two is your local county. You have to. Not all counties have it where it's easy to get in the portal and find that information, but there are counties that it's easy to do that. There's some other software out there. I can't remember one. I think is Remi. I'll have to.
Remine. R-E-M-I-N-E. Yes.
REMINE is they have that feature as well. So
I'm publishing a lot of questions about where to find phone numbers. Still back to RedX. So go in your classroom, hit the RedX button. Geo leads, FSBO leads, expired leads. So they really are the best.
Yeah. So this is when you go to Power Agents, when you log in, where am I? When you're in the classroom and you go to RedX, it'll bring you to this page automatically. And so you'll save as a Power Agent over $500. And so that's what you need to do. And they have expireds, geo leads, which is for farming, okay? For sale by owners, for rent by owners, and pre-foreclosures. And this is what your portal will look like. Now, if you can see, I'm just going to zoom in on this. If you can see, when you log into your account, you'll see over here on the left, there's the list of expireds. There's the for sale by owners, the for rent by owners, the foreclosures. And then when you click on that, it goes into, it goes into a more detail of that client, which is what that video is. And that's it. So next question, Julie.
Yes. Greg says the Power Agent program brought us so much in 2021. It's been great. Do you want to provide any teasers for what's in store for us for 2022? I love it, Greg.
Well, Greg, you've gone through everything in the course now. No, Greg, the teasers for I will tell you we're publishing our first Power Agent magazine that should be in your hands before the end of the month of January. We are doing print on demand, so all of the items that that you can send out in farming, you'll be able to, or prospecting, the letters, etc. You'll be able to instead of downloading it and then bringing it to a printer, you'll be able to upload it to a print on demand for Power Agents and mail that out. And plus a training course, online training course. So those are the three big things that are probably coming in the first quarter.
Awesome. John says he's going to commit the Red X setup value alone is what was pushing him over the edge. Thanks, John. Welcome to the program.
Welcome.
I love it. Let's see. How do you get the addresses and emails of new listings in your area?
From your MLS. Yep. From your MLS. Go into your MLS. Probably has, well, I should show them the newsletter. Let's see, January. What you should do is every day you should log into your MLS, and there's a report that'll show you the new listings that came out today and the listings that expired today. Those are the two important lists for you. All the listings that came out today, you should see it, so that way you can get pain that they didn't list with you because you didn't prospect. And plus it tells you what's happening in the area. And plus you can call around those listings. And then the expireds are ones that you can follow up with. Now, this is we actually have newsletters for Power Agents as well that you can send out to a community. And this is January's newsletter. And simple tricks for organizing your garage. I already talked about this, but if I copied this and I wanted to paste it in Facebook or social media, there you go. I'm showing you how to take a newsletter and actually multi-purpose it and I'm getting too much into it right now with you, but anyway, so there's some great, you can repurpose so much of this stuff, and of course you customize it here, but we're all about direct mail this year in 2022. We want to really have Power Agents do that more because the mailbox is there's no competition. So what's old is new again. We think Power Agents should start adding direct mail to their marketing plan. I love it. Next question. Lisa's asking, wondering what app or system to suggest when making calls from our personal cell phones. We don't want to get reported as spam. And actually that webinar we talked about, Darryl, with our friend from Red X, he covers that. Their system actually does provide that layer of safety. So another thing that you can consider doing is slide dial, which what slide dial is it's a ringless voicemail. So if you're concerned about people ghosting you or whatever, what this does is it goes to, you know how you get your phone, you're like, you got a new message, and you're like, I didn't even hear my phone ring. Sometimes that happens because the cell service just did something wacky. But there's an actual software that makes it happen. So that way you can just record one message and leave it to a bunch of people. And so that's another strategy as well. Next question. Can someone be, hold on. Love the program. I feel supported and it's a great asset. Thank you, Laura. How do you find orphan clients through your brokerage? Yeah, just ask yeah, I see questions. Maybe we can just take them from the top two, Jules. Just it might be easier as well. Because I see there's something about multiple contacts. Yeah. Just ask your broker. Just ask your broker, saying, there's. I'd be interested in all of the deals that the agent's no longer working for the company, and following up with those people. And for January 2022, offer free CMA. I think there's probably leads and business there that's not being worked. It's probably good customer service for us to do as a company. Just ask, depending on your broker and your relationship with your broker is really going to dictate how you ask for that. Do not use the words like orphan. Do not say adopt or make them your clients or put them into your CRM. Be very soft with how you ask the broker. You just want to call these people and see, shake the tree, see what's out there. And make sure that those clients, past clients, are being represented by the company, right? Yeah, exactly.
Dora, I had actually asked before we got started about how to handle multiple contracts, how to win the bid, and you said to come back around.
Right. Okay. So, how do you say that name?
I think it's just his first initial or her first initial, Dora.
Yeah. So, Amdor, multiple contracts, multiple offers. It depends if you're on the listing side or the seller side. I mean the buyer side. That's a huge question for me to answer. So I'm going to answer you the best way I can, and that is to direct you to the classroom. And in the classroom, there is negotiating offers is one of the topics. And in here, there's some really cool things. One of them is there's not a lot. This is one of the weakest sections of the classroom, but because there's not much you can talk about as far as negotiating. There is some webinars on demand, but there's this e-guide for multiple offers that you would give to buyers and sellers. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this multiple offer. If you're on the listing side,
she's on the buyer side.
The multiple offer tracking sheet is for the listing side.
No, you had asked, depends on whether you're on the buyer side or the seller side, and Dora is on the buyer side.
Oh, that's what they're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So then this wouldn't help you. But while I'm here, if you are the listing agent, we have a spreadsheet that you can use with your seller to show them not just to look at the price, but there's all this other stuff as far as the terms and whatnot. So that's the first thing. Now, what you could do as on the buyer side is maybe still use a version of this where you wouldn't have all these other offer columns. So I would just delete those and talk and put my offer together like this so the homeowner can really see that. So that's one option. The second option is having telling the listing agent your buyers will make 2 mortgage applications, one with the mortgage person that they've been working with, and also a second one with the listing agent's recommended loan officer. And the reason why is because the listing agent is going to feel really confident that their loan officer will get your buyers a loan. It makes the offer stronger. It is an extra cost to the buyers, but it will help them in getting their deal accepted. Next question, Julie.
I love it. Pete said in past webinars, you mentioned companies that offer the ability of a buyer with a home sale contingency to become a cash buyer. Can you please provide the name of that company again?
Pete, I'd have to look that up. So, yeah, Pete, I'd have to look that up. I can't answer that now. So do me a favor, Sarah, just jot down Pete's name. I'm assuming Pete's a power agent. And so
you got that, Sarah?
I do.
What?
Sarah's got it.
All right, Sarah. So it's going to be in the negotiating webinar file. Sarah, if you can just give it to him, it's going to be in that PowerPoint slide deck.
Awesome.
You got it.
Okay.
Lisa,
Thank you.
I have a prospecting client, 8 million, buying and selling his properties. I can't get him to commit. He's an extremely smart man, an economist. He is into the stock market. Small talk on his part and on text. He came to me on his son's wedding for help. Please help.
I have a prospecting client, 8 million, buying and selling his properties. I can't get him to commit. Well, so, without being able to talk to you, how do you say that name, Julie?
Lose. I would think.
Here's how I can tell you. You can't make people do something they don't want to do. So you got to find out. So number one is, what is he committed to? Does he want to buy and sell? Like, is he not want to? Sorry, is he committed to it? Why does he want to do that? And you need to speak to his commitment. That's number one. Number two is he came to you, but he needs to empower you. If you have a doctor and the doctor says, I'm worried about your cholesterol and you need to take these pills and you need to cut back on pasta, whatever, and you don't listen to your doctor, well, then you'll probably get a heart attack. It's very simple. So it doesn't make sense to go to a doctor for help and not listen to your doctor. So if he came to you for help, then he should empower you. You can't help him if he doesn't empower you to help him. So I think you need to have that conversation. If he's an economist, then people come to him to find out that kind of stuff. People with real estate come to you. And just because you know economics doesn't mean you know real estate. there is a piece of economics when it comes to real estate, but it's also very emotional, buying and selling, and that's not on a spreadsheet. So this is what you specialize in, and you've got to get him to respect you is the bottom line. Next question, Julie.
I love it. Dan says, I'm working as a real estate agent on the side. I have 5 to 10 hours a week to devote to it. Can probably handle a couple of local listings at a time. What would you advise me to focus on for my time?
Yeah, so Dan, the best thing you can do if you're part-time in real estate, then you should not work with buyers at all. You should only focus on listings, because the thing about listings, once you get a listing and you put it on MLS, you can go be doing your other job or whatever else you're doing, and that listing is still going to generate business. Other agents will show it, so you don't have to be on top of it all the time. Whereas with a buyer, if you're not in the car with them showing properties, there's nothing happening there. So part-timers, what's interesting is part-timers usually do the opposite of what I'm saying. They only work with buyers, and that's why they never make money, because they're not giving those buyers the service that they really need. So those buyers get frustrated, they go somewhere else. So just focus on listings, Dan, and that's it. And if you find that you get some listings or you need extra help, share it with a full-time agent. But do any of the dialogues that we talked about. Do some door knocking, houses for rent, vacant properties, FSBOs, expired. There's a plethora of leads that you can work.
Open houses for other agents. That's a great idea.
Well, that will generate not
generate
really.
buyers.
Yeah, that's going to generate buyers. But what you can do, which we didn't talk about, is you can do a neighborhood open house. What a neighborhood open house is that it's not for the public. It's only for the neighbors. You invite the neighbors to come see this house in case they know somebody wants to buy in the neighborhood. What's great about the neighborhood open house is the only people that are coming are the neighbors. You're not advertising. You're sending direct mail invitations, and you can call and you can door knock, just the neighbors. So those are the only people that show up. Now, because they live in the neighborhood and they own the home, when you're showing them the house, you're not really showing them the house. You're talking about them. So how long have you lived in the neighborhood? What do you like best about the neighborhood? Do you have a similar style of this? What kind of house do you have? Oh, you have that kind. Have you ever thought about moving? If you were going to move, where would you move to? Have you ever done an updated market analysis on your house? Because we believe every homeowner should have that done at least once a year. Why not do this? I don't mind when I find the time. I can come over, take a look at your house, and then I can give you a market report. That way you can have it in the files, and it'd be good for you to know. I can come over at 6 weeks. That'd be better. Bing. Next question.
Bing. I have a referral that says she wants to sell her home. I offered to do a CMA, but I need to see the home to get an accurate price. Now she's ghosting me. What do I do?
Okay, so if people are ghosting you, at that point, you just got to let it go, because there's no winning that, right? If you start to listen, if they don't follow up, if they don't respond right away, you give it 2 or 3 times. But after that, if they're not responding, you've got to let it go for a couple of reasons. Number one, if you keep pursuing them, you're going to be like a stalker. It's not going to help you. They're still going to run away from you, just faster. That's number one. Number two is it's an emotional drain on you. It robs your joy. And if it robs your joy, you're focused on more what you lost that you didn't have to begin with, but you feel like you lost something that you should have had or could have had. And then that loss puts you into a dark place, and it prevents you from doing anything productive to get you to break through to your next level. So you need to get off the dead horse and start walking in the right direction and generate some other leads. Here's the cure to real estate sadness for a real estate agent: prospect. That motion impacts emotion. That motion will change how you feel. Let it go, get in action, make some calls. Next question.
I love it. What is the top way to generate listings?
I just covered that for the past hour and a half.
Marianne, I get referral leads. I'm not sure when I get an answering machine if I should say, please return my call at your early convenience, and then email them with available times. Don't want to be too aggressive, but the lead is given out to a few different agents.
Here's the thing I would say, Marianne, is I would beef up that person who gave you the referral somehow. So I would call and say, hey, Mary, this is Darryl Davis. I was referred by somebody that you probably know, name's John, which, by the way, John said some really great things about you. And he said that he thinks I can maybe really help you. I'd be interested to talk to you. just reach out to me, give me a call. You can text me at your convenience. Let me get a little bit more information, but I'm here to serve you in any way I can. And something like that. That's what I would do. And then if they don't respond back, you know what I would do right after the message? I would then do a text saying, "Dear Mary, John asked me to reach out to you. I just left your voicemail. Feel free to call me when you can." And then I would give it a few days and then do another follow-up saying, "I just want to make sure that I do my part and follow up, make sure you're taken care of. Reach out to me when you can." And then after that, I would drop it.
Katina, wow, that helps me as a part-timer. Say it again. So she liked your fast talk, I think. Darryl, can you scroll to the top of the site? Because we had a question as to how to find the phone number.
Oh, yeah. Listen,
And the
while
chat.
we're on that, hang on a second. First of all, let me tell you something that, hang on. Let me tell you something I'm really proud of with our company. Don't you hate when you can't talk to human beings and it's all emails? But I can't stand in this age of technology. We become more disconnected with businesses, customer service. Anyway, we made it really, one of the things Power Agents will tell you, our follow-up and our customer service is really strong. I'm interested to see any people post that right now in the chat. But anyway, first of all, our phone number is here, an 800 number. It will direct you to a voice, to a person, and it is a good chance it'll go to voicemail, but we're really good at calling back. That's number one. Number two, the better way, though, is this little chat thing. Let me tell you what happens with our chat. Our chat is the best chat out there because when you write a message, send us a message, and if I start typing my message, whatever it is, as soon as I hit enter, every computer in our company goes ding dong, like a doorbell. So everybody's computer says, okay, somebody is on our site. They need our help. And we all read the question, and whoever's the best team member at my company to help you with your question, that person will jump in. So for example, if you're an old Power Agent, you canceled and you want to come back and you want to renew your membership, Gail is the one that would get back to you right away because she deals with that. So that's how that works. But you can call us too. Did I answer that question?
You did.
Okay.
Wayne says, support rocks are always available and always get back to you.
Once in a while, I call people too. And it's so funny when I call people, are shocked to hear from me. This is all I do. You know, my whole team, we wake up every morning. We think about Power Agents. We don't have any other job. Our job here at Power Headquarters is to take care of our Power Agents. It's not even Monday through Friday. My team works on the weekend. Crazy. We're always working. But anyway.
We call ourselves the Smile Squad.
We call ourselves the Smile Squad, exactly. Because we're committed to helping you design a life and career worth smiling about here at Power Headquarters. So I hope I answered that question, Julie.
You did. Lori says, I love the coaching calls. They apply to both new agents and seasoned agents. Darryl does a fantastic job giving value to both from each question. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. Appreciate it.
Awesome. How do you handle people saying they want to wait to buy because the market is too crazy right now?
You know what? Imagine if they had bought last year.
Right.
And the next thing is, so if you wait till let's say you want to wait till when it's not crazy, people said that last year. In other words, it could keep going up. You shouldn't think of buying real estate thinking it's going to go down, because long term. Let me show you something. Hang on. Let me show you something. So stay right there. I am going to show you. Going to go to Classroom. I'm going to go to Buyers. A lot of you know Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett made his fortune in buying stocks. And here's what the stock guy said. I would buy up a couple 100,000 single-family homes if held for a long period of time and purchased at low rates. Houses are even better than stocks. So the point is, what Warren Buffett is saying is that long-term real estate outperforms the stock market that made him a billionaire, multi-billionaire. So you don't buy real estate waiting for it to come down. You buy it as a long-term thing. And plus, the buyers are probably buying to create a home for their family. It's about memories. So you should not wait for the market to not be crazy. You should buy a home if you want to buy a home now and get to your next level. And in 10 years, I promise you, when you're ready to move, it'll be the best thing you ever did. But don't hold off your next level because you think the market's going to change. You have no idea what's going to happen. It could continue at this, and then you lost more money. Next question, Julie.
I love it. Heather says she nearly fell off her chair when you called her to tell her to fix her directory page.
Oh, Heather?
That's funny.
It wasn't her directory page. It was something else, I think.
Contact page?
Yeah. It was on her website, I think, Heather, right? So
Dana says, do I have to start my trial today?
yes, because the same thing is this deal is now. So you should not wait. You're going to have more than 30 days to kick the tires. Why would you wait? You should. It's $5 for crying out loud. It's a Starbucks, and you're going to get all this stuff now sent to you, and we're going to take care of you now. This is the best time to work on your business. The best holiday present to give your family is to help you make more money in 2022. And these next few days before next week is the time for you to get your ducks in a row and work on your business, not just work in it. So it would be silly for you to pull. I don't know when this offer is going to end. I'll be honest with you. So just do it now and you'll be good. Next question.
And we talked about it on the last week that the first week of January, a lot of agents are still sleeping. So if you get in and you learn that expired dialogue and you start there, that expired list comes out January 1st. Most agents are sleeping until January 6th. You could be that first agent in the door calling those expireds that first week of January. So you should learn how to do that now.
I agree,
Before
Julie.
the first week of January, right?
Julie, do me a favor. Start at the bottom there with Debbie and work your way up.
I shall. Debbie says, I love starting my week with Power Agent Monday coaching calls. It's a great way to start your week.
Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate that.
I love it. Are there any recordings of the coaching for us part-timers?
There isn't specific part-time training, but the Monday coaching calls is a good place. Like if you have a question, like we have some power agents that are there every Monday and they ask a question that's important to them, which is great. So as a part-time person, as you're getting acclimated to the program, you may have questions that I can help you. I will tell you as a part-timer, doing that onboarding for sure to get you acclimated to the power program is really important. And but you can definitely use what we have. Just focus on the listings. Okay.
And Katina, we do. We record every coaching call. It's in the coaching call tab of the classroom. We record every coaching call.
I'm sorry, Julie. Katina, I misunderstood your question. I thought she was asking, do we have training for part-timers?
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. So yes. So if you're a part-timer, you can't be on the coaching calls, which by the way, we've set this up that if you click, it'll schedule all the calls in your calendar. So that way you won't ever forget. So you click on that. But yes, Katina, we do record them for you and you can listen to them later and they're transcribed as well, I believe. And so anyway, so the answer to your question is yes. Next question, Julie.
You can also watch the live stream because we live stream on Facebook. So you can also watch it on, if you prefer video, you can watch it in the Facebook group.
Yeah. So what we do, even though it's a coaching call, we use Zoom as the platform to do the calls. And then we post those or the calls streamed live. I'm trying to get to it. As you can tell, it was a lot of holiday cheer. And during those calls, did I pass me, Julie?
Nope. What? Little more. We just have a lot of Christmas wishes.
A lot of Christmas wishes. So what happens is that I do it via Zoom and also stream it to the closed Facebook group because you'll see 56 comments. There is a lot of questions and contribution and ideas. So it's turned into more than just a coaching call because the power agents, when they hear a question from another power agent, they'll start throwing in their 2 cents and ideas, which is pretty awesome. And there's a chat that goes with the Zoom call. Anyway, I got to tell you something. The Monday coaching calls, because they're live, and I sit in the hot seat and you can ask the questions and get help. some power agents have told us the Monday coaching call is worth 10 times the $47 a month. But anyway, as a guest, listen, it's $5. Check it out and judge for yourself. Next
and also,
question.
Katina, and everybody back in that coaching call tab on the classroom, there is a place there to ask your question in advance, and we take those at the top of the hour. So even if you can't be on live, you can click on that. We'll get that question submitted, and we'll answer that the following Monday live at the top of the hour.
Right.
Can I hire a virtual assistant for cold calling? How do I find an experienced cold caller? Asks Kelly.
Yeah, so there is, we have a virtual assistant company that we recommend. And when you go to Tech Tools and Training, you can use the Virtua Desk, but we have a setup fee. Power agents don't pay. The $450 is waived, so you pay $0. So they are from the Philippines, and you can get somebody from there to hire and to train and to work with.
Excellent. You know, we do, I don't know, cold calling. We actually recommend you get your virtual assistant to delegate the other things to them. You should be good on the phone. If you can get good on the phone, you can make it anywhere.
Exactly. I'm more of a fan that you master the telephone yourself as opposed to delegating it. Once you master it, then you can delegate it.
Maria, I'm getting my license in another state. Where do I start as a part-time agent in that state?
What I would do, Maria, is just Google real estate agent license and then your state. And then you'll find the website for licensing in your state, and then they'll tell you the process.
I think she's asking not how to get the license, but how they get started as an agent in that state, which normally you recommend learning the market first, right? By working with another agent and doing
Getting my license in that state. Where do I start as a part-time agent in that state? Oh, I see. I guess what got me confused was in that state, because it doesn't matter if you're a part-time agent. Doesn't matter the state that you're in. It would be the same thing. Number one is you should know your market. I will tell you, before I give you any more, let me just say this. There is a new agent tab that we created, and there is a guide for new agents that says step-by-step what to do. It's called, oh, by the way, you're going to get this guide when you sign up as part of your $5, and you get to keep this. So this is what you're going to get when you sign up today. And hopefully this answers your question. Step 1 is create a vision board. Step 2, create a plan. Let me actually show you the pages. So create a vision for yourself. Then the next thing is your easy business plan. Know your numbers, know your finance, what you're doing. Send out a letter to a bunch of people that we tell you who to send it out to. Start prospecting, get focused, use charts. Anyway, there's a whole step-by-step guide here. Get clear on how to do a listing appointment. Use a CRM and what you should look for in a CRM and how important that is to your business. So anyway, if you sign up with the $5, you're going to get this e-guide. How many pages is this thing? It is 29 pages for you. And there's charts and the dot board and the smile stops and like that.
Tell you what, that productivity tracker has been a game changer for agents this year.
This one here. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Katina, I want to introduce myself and ask my neighbors if they want to list or if there's anything I can do for them. Is there a place to go to help me figure this out?
Yeah, Katina, the best thing is offering things of value. So if you were to go to the power program and go to farming, right? There's if you offer a neighborhood market report or offer an e-guide. So what I would suggest you do, Katina, is don't ask people for business. Don't ask people to give you. Don't take from people, give. So go into the farming and look at all of the things there's the neighborhood market report. There is a certificate with a bakery. There is a moving checklist for kids, for people. This is for family disaster if you're in a hurricane or an area where the weather is a concern. So there's a bunch of guides. So find something here that you like that you just want to offer to give to people. And that's what I would do. I would pick one of these things and then start door knocking. I gave you the door knocking dialogue, which is in the prospecting tab, and was one of the 10 dialogues today, where you're introducing yourself. Just want to say hi and also give you something, a little gift that I'm giving to all the neighbors. And if you ever need anything real estate related, I'm here. That's it.
I love it. I love it. I think we're at
Okay.
the-
So here's what I'm going to suggest you do. If power agents, while we're closing the webinar, could you please tell me, did you learn anything today? What was your favorite thing? Because we record these chats and we go back and we look at it. So it really helps us. So in the Q&A, if you'll write what you liked the best today, that would be awesome. So that's the first thing. If you're a guest, thank you so much for being a guest and being here. I hope you got value. I'm going to encourage you to jump in and become power agent today. So that way, like I said, the best thing you can do for your family is to have a great 2022. And I think that we can help you with that. Evidence says we can. We have a lot of proof in the pudding. And but listen, I want you to get these gifts that we have on the screen for you. And it's only $5. And during the month of January, you'll get to know us better. You'll get to know the program better. And then you'll be really educated. Listen, you probably wasted more than $5 on some holiday presents that people didn't think were good.
I know for a fact your holiday Starbucks costs more than $5, right?
That's right. You probably bought an Amazon gift card or a Starbucks gift card that was more than $5. I think you're worth giving yourself this gift. Truly, you are worth giving yourself this gift of being a power agent in real estate. So sign up for this. Let us give you our gifts for you. That's almost $2,000. And hopefully we'll win not just your head, but your heart before January 30th when your trial is over. And if we don't, then you cancel. Nothing. That's the worst. You get a lot of great stuff for $5. Okay. So what do we got here? Joy said, awesome training. Thank you, Joy. Appreciate that. Joe, Mr. Darryl, thank you so much for Happy New Year. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Joy wants to know, are we sending the replay? Joy, the replay of this recording will be on the Webinars on Demand in the Power Program website. So go to Classroom Webinars on Demand. You'll see that in the next day or two. And Julie, you can just publish these comments.
Excellent.
Yeah, and but listen, if you're a guest, click on that, because as soon as we end this webinar, that floating bubble that says start my trial, it's going to go away. So before we shut it down, click on that button right now. It'll open up another browser for you. You want to do that before, otherwise it's going to go away. Let me see what else we got here. Bud Crane for $5, it's no brainer. But I hope I helped you with your question. Make sure you reach out to me if you need more on that. Thank you for that, Bud. Michelle, everything is amazing. Power agent here. If you haven't signed up, do it. You will thank yourself for that. Thank you so much. The weekly calls, so much more. That's great. Thank you so much. And you guys are publishing them. I can't read them. So awesome. Thank you for all your help. Looking for a multiple offer sheet. Have one from CRS. Think it's similar. Okay, Heather. Good. Yeah, see, compare those two spreadsheets and see if there's something missing, what you like there. I think compare those. What else we have here, Julie? Very informative. Karen, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. I'm a guest and I can get the replay. Oh, Joy. No, if you are a guest, you wouldn't get the replay. To get the replay, it's $5. Okay. So plus the slides, plus everything on the screen. So
Red X plus.
Yeah. So for $5, you get the replay. Okay. If it's not worth the $5, then definitely don't sign up. Okay. Thank you, Darryl. Just signed up. Happy New Year. Thank you, Natalie. I appreciate that. Colette, connecting and calling around the new listing. Thank you for that. Yes, Colette, call around the new listings. I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you something else too, while these are coming in, is if you want to restart your business, sometimes you got to prime the pump. Zig Ziglar, motivational speaker, rest in peace. He said about, water on a well, how you have to pump the handle, and it takes a while for the water to come up. Sometimes those spray bottles do the same thing. The spray bottles, you got to hit it a couple of times for the water to start coming out. When you start making calls, no matter what it is, around the new listing or any of the 10 that I taught today, it primes the pump for you to start having business flow out the nozzle, right? So start making some, get ready for this new year. You got a few days left. Let's hit the ground running in January, this Monday. Sign up today if you're a guest, and let's get on the coaching call on Monday. Wayne, highlight of my week is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and coaching with the Power Agent team. Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate that. Ralph Rossi just joined. Congratulations, Ralph. Welcome to the Power Agent family. We're very excited. And Kathy just joined and excited. Thank you. Happy New Year. I'm telling you, gang, be hitting the ground running in 2022 as a Power Agent. I'm going to tell you, you keep doing what you do. You keep getting what you're getting. This is going to shake it up for you. And you are not alone. Me and my entire team are here to help you have a breakthrough in your business in 2022. This is your year to achieve a new level that you'll be proud of. You'll have less stress and more fun in your life. Thank you for your time. We're going to end this. Oh, Karen just joined. Great, Karen. Welcome to the Power Agent family, Karen. I appreciate that. All right.
For your family as well, right? Because if
gift
you've
for your
got less
family.
stress and more success, then that's the best gift you can give your family too.
Exactly. All right, gang, we're going to end this. Click on that button. I will see you guys on the Monday coaching call. And that's it. Thank you. Oh, and have a happy and safe new year. Okay. We'll look forward to working with you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, everybody.
Bye,
all right. Bye-bye.